And welcome back to the second segment of our show this morning. As we mentioned prior to the commercial break, we would be discussing an upcoming benefit concert, and it's being organized by Mary Open Doors. It's a shelter foundation. We're going to be discussing the issue of domestic violence as well, and of course, the concert that is scheduled for the 14th of July. That being said, we have with us on set Anna Silva. She's the co-founder of Mary Open Doors.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We also have with us Teresa Watlow. She's a domestic violence survivor. Good morning. And we also have Karolina Kukolova. She's a violinist from the Czech Republic. Good morning, Karolina. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right. So we want to say thank you for coming in this morning, and it's a great opportunity for us to know about the work that you do at Mary Open Doors. So Anna, let's just start off by talking about the foundation itself and what you aim to do.
Mary Open Doors has been in existence for 10 years, since 2008. We have helped many, many families, over hundreds of families so far, over that period of time. What we hope to do is that once we have our women in our shelter, that we can help them to get back to a secure living and to go back into living that lifestyle that, you know, they're worth living.
Yeah. So you offer shelter for victims of domestic violence, women who are victims of domestic violence.
Women and their children.
And their children. So it's a residential.
Yes.
And how many families can you cater to at any one time?
We can accommodate at least 4 families and their children.
And their children. And you said you've, over the past 10 years, helped hundreds of families so far.
Yes.
How do people get placed in your facility? Is it a matter of an emergency? They run away from the home and come to you? Or is it a court placement? What happens?
Most of the time, they are referred to us through the women's department, through the police department, the courts. And we do have clients who from time to time would come in, just walk in, and we would have to decide whether or not we can help that family.
Yeah.
Those that I guess don't want to deal with the police and all the other parts of it.
Yeah.
So Teresa, what has been your experience as a survivor of domestic violence and of course seeking the assistance of Mary Open Doors?
Well, for me, the shelter has done a lot for me. In the shelter, I learned to be independent. Going through my domestic violence, I didn't thought that I would make it out here on my own. And that's, I think a lot of women go through that, and that's the reason why women sit there and being abused, right? Because you feel like if you left, you don't know what to do. But being in the shelter, I spent 7 months in the shelter, and it's done a lot for me. And today, I'm proud to say that, you know, it's almost 10 years since that time when the shelter opened. A little time after that was when I went into the shelter through the women's department. And then right now, my kids they were little, they are big, going to college, doing good. So yeah, it's done a lot for me.
Teresa, one of the challenges that domestic violence victims must overcome is making an exit out of the situation. And there are many barriers, one of them being a lot of times they are also being economically abused. They have no access to funds, nowhere to go, or where they'd feel safe at least. Was that your situation, and how did Mary Open Doors help in that scenario?
That was my situation. 10 years ago, I was a victim. You know, I was in terrible abuse, seeing my children abused by this person, and myself, and I didn't know of the organization. A friend told me about the organization, and I said I have to get out of this situation. So I went into the women's department, and I asked, "Can you help me?" And they said, "Yes, you come to the right place." And they sent me to the shelter, and in the shelter, you know, we get some counseling, and from there, I pick up my life. I went into the shelter with one suit of clothes on my back, and today I have my home, my children, they're all going to school. It was five of them.
Wow.
And I didn't feel like I would make it because, you know, living with this person for so many years, my self-esteem was very low because of the abuse and all the things, you know, that they put you through. You don't feel like you could do it. And I didn't have a family that I could depend on. So for me, it was very hard, but going into the shelter strengthened me a lot. And today I'm here.
Was
and I'm
faith a huge part of being able to overcome this challenge in your life?
Yeah.
Talk to us a bit about that.
Faith was actually, I got baptized a couple of years back, and that strengthened me a lot more, you know, and I'm taking care of my kids, working hard. I don't own a home. I have to pay rent. I have to find tuition. I have to find all those stuff. It's very hard. But with faith, I do it every day. I get up and I pray, and I ask the Lord to give me the strength, you know, to overcome all these things, and I do it. So I make it through. Right now I have 2 in college, and next one going in, and it's hard. So I'm seeking scholarship, but I'm working hard. I don't sit down and, you know, depend on anything. After I left the shelter, Miss Anna here, she can tell you guys, you know, I haven't been there asking for help. I support myself, and I with faith and with courage and everything, I developed the strength that I didn't think I have. So yeah, I'm here today, working hard. And
Anna, how typical is the scenario that Teresa just outlined, where women leave their their abuser with their children with absolutely nothing?
Most of the time, these women come with absolutely nothing, and like Miss Watlow said, really crushed, without self-esteem to help them carry through.
Yeah.
But whenever they come to the shelter, we try to work with them exactly where they're at. No criticism, no complaining, just trying to feel where they're at and to move them, to help them to move actually to another level, to another place in their life, because we all have that inner strength.
Yeah.
So whatever it is they come to us with, we help them to either build on that so that they can propel themselves forward.
This is one of several success stories, I'm assuming, in terms of being able to help these women?
Yes, it is. And at times it gets really discouraging because it's a lot of work, but when we hear or when we experience the success, when we look at the children going back to school, it's all worth the while.
So when someone like Teresa comes to Mary Open Doors, you offer housing, first of all, because they'll stay there.
Yes.
What about uniforms, food, tuition, school supplies?
A lot of the times, it's right around in our community that assists, and most of the time, also if that client is coming from the women's department, then they would pick up on that end. They would help us to provide the needs for these clients.
Okay. And then you also offer counseling services?
Yes. But what happens is we do not duplicate anything that is already out there. Yeah. So what we do, we use the community, because sometimes the resources is right there. It's just that we don't know how to access it.
Yeah.
And so we try to plug women into everything that is available for them right there within the community.
Now, I think just one testimonial of hundreds, and what you've just explained to us in terms of making sure you work with other service providers shows the importance of what you are able to contribute. Now you are asking for help from the community. You're reversing roles. And that is because you want to purchase the building that you're currently in. You were renting.
Yes.
And you want to purchase the building. Tell me about what made you move to this step at this point.
Well, having the shelter as our own, belonging to Mary Open Doors, would be a milestone for us.
Yeah.
It would cut down on our overhead costs.
Yeah.
And we would feel a lot more secure in doing what we are doing today.
Yeah. So how much money do you need to raise?
The purchase cost of the house is $55,000. Okay. I think to date we have raised at least maybe half. So we are hoping that through this benefit concert, and we're moving, even though it's a slow pace, we are moving towards really that security that the organization needs.
Yeah.
So talk to us a bit about the benefit concert then.
The benefit concert, actually we have a volunteer with us, and
was
this is
gonna-
like God
yeah.
sent. The volunteer came, at this present moment, and so she was able to offer her service. She's a violinist, and so with that, we decided that maybe, you know what, we need to raise these funds, and maybe a concert is the way to go.
Yeah.
So we decided to do a benefit concert. We got the George Rice Center involved and many other community organizations involved who was helping us by
Yeah.
sponsoring this event.
So, Karolina, how did you get involved at Mary Open Doors? You're from the Czech Republic.
Yes.
Yes.
But currently, I am pursuing my bachelor's degree at Lynn University in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, I had like empty summer basically. I had no plans, and this internship appeared. It was called Ambassador Corp, and it was from the Social Impact Lab. So I thought it was something really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I would actually use violin when doing social impact.
Yeah.
But it is certainly something that I've been always hoping for, to use the instrument, the music,
Yeah.
to create something good.
So tell us about what your impression is going into Mary Open Doors and seeing the work that they do.
I think that's something really amazing. I think that, especially knowing that it is only one of two in Belize,
Mm-hmm.
it is very impressive, and like my heart is in it. I really, really want this to be successful.
What's your interaction been like with the women and families that are there?
It is all confidential, so I don't get to even meet the people.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that they need their own privacy.
And that's important, because you also have to keep a very secure facility. In fact, if we were to tell people, we can't even tell people where the building is, right? Why is that?
For security purposes.
Why?
So we have two different locations. We have the office,
Mm-hmm.
that is our resource center, so everybody knows that location as Mary Open Doors. The second location we have existing is for the clients and their children, so that is a kind of secrecy about that.
To avoid perhaps the abuser from finding out where these women
Yes,
and their
exactly.
families
Yeah.
are.
Teresa, do you feel safe there? I mean, everything about what they've done, they've ensured you said 7 months at the facility, right?
7 months, 10 years ago though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I feel safe there. At first I was like looking over my shoulder, my heart pumping, but I got through it, and the shelter is very secure, and that's wonderful.
Yeah. What do you say to women who are suffering in relationships right now about making the move to get out? It's been a decade. You've had a lot of time to really be able to recover from, as you pointed out, the psychological abuse, the physical abuse, and all the other effects of that relationship. What do you say to women today?
I would say don't sit down and being abused. Get up and speak out, because maybe some people don't, maybe some women don't know that there is help out there, right? But there is a lot of help out there. There's a lot of people out there willing to help. And I would say you get up, speak out, and do like me, you know. I'm a survivor. 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'm surviving for 10 years. And if
Yeah.
I can do it, then I believe all a woman can. Because sometimes, you know, you would say, why do you sit there in that situation? But no one knows if you're not in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was very hard to get out. For me, it was very hard because, you know, this person threaten you, abuse you. You don't know where to go, what would happen when you get out there. But get up and fight, speak out, and then I believe seek help and you will find it.
What was the last straw for you? The deciding factor where you just knew, today is the day I'll go to the women's department or I'll go to Mary Open Doors. What was that point where you made that decision?
That point, I could remember that was 2009, February the 1st. Actually, he hit me and my daughter, and she was bleeding from the mouth, and I was like, no.
How old was your daughter?
I think about 11. And I said, no, if I stay, he would kill me or I will kill him. And I was planning to do that. And I said, you know what, I don't want to take the burden of anyone's on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I have my kids and I have to live for them. And I said, no, I kneel long and I pray and I ask the Lord to give me the strength to get out. And I did.
And this is the father of your children, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah.
So what has the what was the relationship like with the kids and their father after you left the shelter? Was there any reconciliation for that? Or?
After I left the shelter, we haven't had anything to do with him. Actually, it's only about, I think about 3 years since he started coming around and speaking to the children, but the baby, she doesn't remember anything, so she, you know, she's happy to see him, but the rest of them, no.
Yeah.
They talk to him and stuff, but no, ma'am, we don't want him in our life. We're happy with you, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, you know, I'm so grateful. Thank you for coming and sharing your story. Even 10 years later, I know it's not always easy to let people know the inner workings of what happens in your life. But it does highlight the importance of institutions like Mary Open Doors and why we should support.
Can I say one more thing? I just want to say to the public out there that please come out and support the organization. It's the most wonderful thing that is out there to help women.
Yeah.
And we really need to purchase this building. Miss Anna has been a good person. She's always there for anyone who's going through domestic violence. Yeah. And I think that if you come out and support so that they can buy the shelter, it will be there, because we don't know when it's our mom or sister or cousin or friend who's going through that. And we want everyone to come out and support.
Absolutely. I think that's just the perfect way to explain why people should support the concert. It's a summer string concert, right? Yes. And it's going to be at the George Price Center. So you were blessed. You got Karolina coming in as a volunteer, who also is an accomplished violinist as well. And so I guess you offered your services for the show. So tell us the details about the benefit concert.
So we are still working on getting more musicians, but for now we are cooperating with the Cayo Music School and Miss Catherine Durences. I am today meeting with, I lost the word, the name, Palotti Music School.
Okay.
Sorry. Palotti Music School. I've always got in touch with the music ambassador, Shine Barrow.
Yeah.
And today I'm meeting with O'Brien's studio as well. So hopefully the program is going to be interesting for everyone. My idea first, even before I came, was to put on a showcase that would be classical music, that kind of music I do, and then also the local musicians. So it would be something interesting, something different, and also something very well known to the local people.
So the tickets are $100.
Yes.
Tell us the details about it.
The tickets are $100. We have different locations right now that they're being sold at in Belmopan and in San Ignacio.
Yeah.
As she mentioned with the program, we are still working to complete the program for the date. To mention some of the places where the tickets are being sold. We have the George Price Center, Miss Sadie. We have the San Ignacio Resort Hotel, Miss Terry, Casablanca, Miss Hamira. All these are in San Ignacio. Back to My Roots, Miss Barbara, and Debari in San Ignacio. In Belmopan, we have the Angelos Press, Caladium Restaurant, Scotia Bank, Active Body and Spa Salon, and Dacre's Stationery. Hopefully we can get some of these tickets to be sold here in Belize City. So we have with us tickets to be sold right here in Belize City.
And the concert is on July 14th?
4 to 6 p.m. It's a Saturday, so we're asking everybody to come out.
And of course, purchasing the ticket is contributing towards Mary Open Doors owning the building that they're operating from, which means you free up whatever rental funds to put more into the work that you do. I can't find a more deserving cause than that, and I really hope that people show their support As Karolina mentioned, which is actually true, there are very few shelters for women who are attempting to leave the domestic violence and their families as well. And people don't understand how much that is a hindrance in people moving out and saving their lives. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to show support in any other way? Maybe they want to make a contribution.
Well, we have a bank account at the Belize Bank.
Okay.
You can put in there at the Belize Bank. We also have a site, the Global Giving, where you can go on to Mary Open Doors at Global Giving, and you can make a donation there. You can email us or contact us at the office. It's 804-4562 or 096315.
Okay. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all the details about the benefit concert. July 14th at the George Price Center, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's going to be a lineup of different musicians, including Karolina. And the tickets are $100, but it goes towards the building, the purchase of the building. So thank you. And I know, Karolina, you'll be leaving us with a little sample of what type of music people can expect, right?
Can I say something about the
Yes.
piece? I chose the piece because it comes from the place where I was born. It is very old. It's about 17th century. And it's one of the first violin pieces for solo violin. And it has the theme of guardian angel in it.
Okay.
That's why.
And so Karolina will be doing her piece and taking us out into our break. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your story, and best of luck. Well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.